Welcome back to the FC24 Realistic Road to Glory Career Mode. We have the opportunity this season, with the signings we've made, the financial clout at the club, and the promise of the players that we have in the squad at the minute, to genuinely challenge for a playoff spot this year, for a chance of promotion to the Premier League. We didn't start the played games very well with regards to results in the last episode, but let's be honest, Leicester City are certainly a side that you would expect to beat us regardless of the influx of new players to the club. We've got a busy month for the remainder of August. I'm not sure whether we'll get all of it in today's episode and transfer deadline day, or whether we will slow it down and split the month into two. I'm not entirely too sure at the minute. It depends how much action there is remaining in the transfer window for us and other clubs. At present, I've no plans to bring in any more. But obviously, if we get bids for our players and we need to make replacements, then there will be transfer action. We're not going to not respond to anything that happens with regards to our current crop of players. 8 new first-team players at the club. I know, it's been that kind of window. Today, we're saying thank you to those of you on the board behind me for your continued support in the comments section. Thank you to Dennis, thank you to Racing Bubba, and to Unknown Dash as well. Appreciate it very much indeed. We've got press conference questions for you from the comments section throughout the course of today's episode. We're going to advance towards this game against Watford first. We have had an offer for Dreger from LAFC at 31 years of age. Absolutely, that is a doable deal, so we'll accept that. That would be banging. We'd love to get Dreger out. Kirk Henderson is very much part of the first team picture now in that central area. Real Oviedo? I mean, Spain is close to Africa and Tunisia, isn't it? So it's moved slightly closer to home for Dreger, so certainly we'll accept it then. And Bari have bid for Bourne. Still holding off on transferring him to anyone that's completely unrealistic at the moment. You guys mentioned in the comment section that you would prefer that if there isn't a realistic bid come in, that we absolutely just keep players at the club. PSV would like to loan in Dylan Dodds. Now, this could be actually something that we look to negotiate in terms of a genuine, just straight up loan deal, proposed loan without buy option, which they're interested in. We're looking to only loan Dodds for the 1 year. I'm quite happy for them to pay 60%. Actually, I might try and get them to pay a little bit more if they're open to it, which they're not, but 60% is fine by me. We'll take a mental note of those pictures so I can update my spreadsheet accordingly. Dylan Dodds, a player that, with Alejo retiring at the end of the season, the plan is to get Dylan as much first-team football this season as possible, so that when Alejo leaves us at the end of the year, Dodds can come back and be right in the sweet spot for a lot of first-team football. So Dodds needs that first-team football to progress, and that's Dreger leaving us to go to Oviedo, so we get slightly more money for that, £930,000 for Dreger as he leaves us. So far, so good then, with everything off the field. We just now need to make things better on the field and hopefully start climbing that league table. And a bid for Richards as well, although Casapia is not necessarily the most realistic of options. We've had Casapia, Boavista and Estoril so far. Not the realistic bids that we're looking for, thank you very much. So please try again. Okay then, game 1 of the day is against Watford. They actually lost their first game of the season, as did we, and their overall ratings for the different departments are pretty much similar to our own. So absolutely, this is a very winnable game. You'd have to say almost every game this season that isn't against the side that got relegated from the Premier League last year should be a winnable game. We're in that sort of position now where the pressure is building in the Championship, and rather than just surviving, now we're looking to start thriving. Kone. Oh, Linetti steps in and gets it away from him. And Carroll is looking to get away here. And Sammy Smodics wants to get in behind. What are you doing, mate? He's gone. He's gone. Back pocket, red card. And moment of madness from Ismail Kone. 5 minutes in, and Watford are down to 10 men already. That was unbelievable. Ludicrous play from them. And Foden, could be in. Sammy Smodics with some excellent dribbling feet. And can't quite get away from everybody to find the pass. Makengo got caught on it a moment ago and it nearly cost us the chance. But Watford at the minute cannot keep possession to save their lives. They just keep giving it back to us. Fofana utilising that good strength, and there's 2 people to aim for here. You see Drew Schmodics out of position there as Sigurdsson was in the better spot. Fofana and Linetti Good save by Jaffet's in goal to deny us the opening goal of the game. Cashin's up again. There's that great jumping. He may only be 5'11", but he's such a danger from set pieces. And it's him that we look for again, but this time it's over the bar and not on target. Decent turn, and now they're in a dangerous position here. I need to get a block on it, and we've done well. But now the ball is free again. We need to get a block on it again. It's a lovely foot in. Dangerous to do so, but you really have a choice there. Fofana's got to do better holding the ball up. In all honesty, that's a lovely ball through by Bar into Deli Bashiru. Kobani, the loanee from Leeds, doing very well at fullback thus far in the game and a half he's played. And continuing to prove the point that maybe that loan to permanent buy may well be the option that we take up later this season. We certainly still have the financial capability to do so as it stands. Nice ball through. Deli Bashiru to Bar, and the 10 men should have taken the lead. He's well and truly shanked that. Mr. Q is the sponsor, and that was Mr. Not Quite Good Enough. Here's Deli Bashiru, centre mid drifting wide. It's a sharp turn, and Aspria is still causing me problems here. I want to let him square up to goal. Good block. It's going to fall free for him though. And Bar! O'Leary with a very smart save. Bar on target this time. Still not quite good enough though. Riquelme with the corner for Watford. They might only have 10 men, but they're still dangerous. Makengo wins the first header. Cashin trying to get there and just out-muscles the man. I tell you what, Aaron's going for it. Oh, it's going to bounce free very, very kindly. Sigurdsson is onside here. Sigurdsson! I don't know who this Jaffets is, but his reactions are nutty. Let's put tiny little Sammy Schmodics on the set pieces, shall we? Get some more aerial threat in and around the box. Cashin again. Jaffets, honestly, Jaffets needs to go home because I'm a bit bored of him saving everything we throw at them so far. Junior Firpo's up for this header. Wesley Hoot wins it. Nanetti needs to get out of his feet quickly. Lobato trying to find some space. Can't quite do so. It's pinballing around though, and Cashin stones well. And Schmodics will look for Fofana. Can't quite get it to him. There's still maybe a chance in for the end of the first half. Lobato bursting into the space. Lenny Lobato! Jaffet still! What rating is he? He's a monster. We bought the wrong goalkeeper. 70 rated? Bullshit! 90 at this rate. So we have to be wary at all times. If Sammy can get himself in a decent position here, we might be in. We'll try and float this, looking for Fofana. Oh, please! Get in! Fode Fofana bags his first goal for the club, and what a goal it is indeed. Sigurdsson with the delivery, Fofana with the first-time strike. Use 1-0 up. That's absolutely worth another look. An early ball, perfectly placed, as was the finish. When the pressure on, you can hear the fans blowing their whistles in the stands, calling for full time. And to be honest, with that pressure defensively, it should come, and it has. Only a slim margin of victory, but wins are wins and points are points, and there's 3 of them coming our way this time. Confirmation that Dylan Dodds leaves us to go to PSV on loan. Crucially, just before this loan move went through, after the last game, we were informed that Dylan Dodds had grown, which he has from 72 to 73. However, he has now peaked at 73. So I fear that Dylan Dodds might not actually grow in a manner in which sees him maintain really much of an impact other than a squad player at the club at all. It's going to be a tricky one. It certainly is. Notts County coming up in the Cup, which is one that we're going to simulate, of course, in the Carabao Cup. We're not really that bothered about that. They've got Langstaff still up top for them, been able to hold on to him. Cameron still at centre-back, Bayrami as well. The other Palmer's there, Jatta. Just quicks in this, you can see my starting lineup there. I'll give you a press conference question in a moment. That starting lineup should be enough to see them off, and has indeed. Through to the next round of the Carabao Cup we go. Let's give you that first press conference question. It comes from Court. It says, is selling Isaac Hayden for a profit made you think about buying more free agents? So even if they don't work out as planned, you can find it easier to make a profit to buy better players. It's not been my financial plan to forecast in picking up free players to sell them on for a profit. That's not really something that is a realistic way of building clubs' finances. That sounds more like an ultimate team, buy low, sell high, stock exchange type method. I don't think teams would realistically just solely sign players with the intention of just selling them on for profit. So really not very good man management that at all, is it? And a bit inhumane, so to speak, for lack of a better term, to just sign someone with the sole intention of not playing them but then selling them for more money. Just kind of toying with players' careers like that. It's not something I'm intrigued in doing or looking to do at this particular moment in time. That 3 points has sent us up to 9th, and with Millwall, who are yet to pick up a point and have lost both of their opening games, we absolutely will be looking to pick up 3 more at the Den in this next fixture. Even though it's away from home, it's a side that are certainly beatable, and beatable by a decent margin, which indeed they are. Sigurdsson hat-trick, ladies and gentlemen. An assist in the last game for the volley for Fofana, and he's followed it up by smashing in 3 of his own. That's another set of 3 points for Cambridge United. The playoff promotion hunt has certainly started well, because where are we? In the playoffs. But who do we have next? Luton. We've seen one striker go to Portugal already this season, and Kusini Yengi has now had a bid from Braga. And with his first team opportunities limited now, one would imagine that Kusini would be interested in pursuing a potential move to a club that would be in the European picture. Let's have a look. Braga. Are they in the... Braga are in the Conference League. Again, as was the case with the... Especially since as Yengi isn't first team in a minute. I think that's something we should probably consider. I will discuss this with live chat, because I get the contention from some areas in the comment section about the Cleary deal, but as was mentioned in the comment section of the last episode, with transfers like Brereton Diaz from the Championship to La Liga and Victor Gyökeres from the Championship to the Portuguese League, as it so happens, to Sporting, I think it's within the realms of possibility for it to happen. Yengi was a good player for us last season, certainly would have made an impact. Perhaps we have a look at Braga's squad as well. That could help offer up a better idea of what sort of first team football he might be getting there at 72 rated. So Braga have a 77 rated Gomez and a 77 rated Morales as their strikers, 70 rated Dorsari and 75 rated Bruma on the wing. Ronnie Lopez at 74. Ronnie Lopez is 31, however. Bruma is 32. I think he'd probably be in contention of a starting spot on the wing for them, wouldn't he? Let's be honest. And certainly, I think Braga would pay him more than we do. I think he would be getting squad football in Europe, in the Conference League, as well as squad football in a more well-renowned division, or certainly a top tier as opposed to a second tier. Let me discuss this with chat and we'll see what they say, because they'll probably get the call on this. Well, there's your answer, YouTube. Of the 24 people that voted, 92% have voted for yes, sell Yengi to Braga. So Kusini Yengi was the man that scored the goals to get us from League One to the Championship. In our first year in the Championship, he was a man that scored the goals to keep us in the Championship. Last year, he had a significantly lessened impact. And this year, with the improvements made elsewhere, he's had even less an impact, or will have an even lesser impact moving forward. He's 28 now. It's not going to grow much more at all. And with ambitions of getting to the Premier League, or at least challenging for getting to the Premier League, I don't know as Kusini Yengi really... Oh, they'll pay 2.9 as well. Nice. I don't know as Kusini Yengi really has much more of a future at the club beyond this season. And as you can see there, he's only got 10 months left on his deal. So I think it makes sense to get 3 million quid for him now than let him leave for free at the end of the season. That makes good financial sense for us as a club. Especially considering we've already made a replacement that we've had on our shortlist for a little while, in a certain Mr. Emmanuel Dennis, who's only 12 months older, but he's better as a player, and hopefully, even though it cost us a little bit of money in wages, I think that might be one that we could look to do, although we will explore the idea of a loan player in the meantime. Because perhaps a short-term 1-year loan might suit better than Dennis for 2 years on a permanent basis. Emmanuel Dennis is in. We looked at other options, but there isn't really much available on a loan for this season. So we've signed Emmanuel Dennis on a 1-year initial deal with a view to potentially extending that if he performs well this year. It's a deal with an option that we will enact. So if he plays well, he'll have that option triggered at the club's discretion for an extra season. Emmanuel Dennis joins Cambridge United. Luton have drawn 3 of their first 4 games this season, and that dub will have been in the Carabao Cup as well. So played 3, drawn 3 for them so far this year. Ross Barkley still in their forward picture. Leslie Ugochukwu still involved in the midfield as well. They haven't really developed the side that much from last season though. And Luton, obviously unsuccessful in their attempts to get promotion last year, seem to have stagnated a little bit with the way they're trying to move the club forward, which is something that certainly couldn't be accused of us, isn't it, at the present moment in time. Kusini Yengi's on the bench for this, alongside Emmanuel Dennis at present. Luton at home. It's a big one for the U's this. Back to Alan Campbell. Threads the ball through. Kirk Henderson intercepts but can't get it out of his feet. And now here's McAtee, and Max O'Leary makes another. Very good save. He's made a good impression so far, O'Leary, since coming in on free from Bristol City. Been impressed. Corner Luton in the 21st minute. Ugochukwu takes it short. McAtee looks for the option on the edge of the box. Training ground perhaps here. Alan Campbell finds Ross Barkley. Good block by Lenny Lobato. Ross Barkley involved again. And Alan Campbell blocked by a mixture of Kirk Henderson and his teammate, I think there. Alan Campbell. And Corbani will look to break away. Now Sigurdsson scored a hat-trick recently, and he's going to look to get in behind here. He's got Mengi closing him down. It's a lovely first touch. And he's beaten the next man too. Oh, but I can't find Sammy Schmodic's arriving. Maybe I rushed it a little bit. Little ball inside is nice. McAtee helps it quickly to Salahovic, who strikes it firmly, but saved again by Max O'Leary. Barkley's just the wrong side of Makengo. Hashioka's forward here. It's been transfer listed at Luton Town, Hashioka. Oh, it's going to fall to Alan Campbell. They're going to have another chance here. It's McAtee this time. We're having to work hard defensively, but thus far the defence is doing the job. That hard work is proving to do the job thus far. Salihovic and McAtee and O'Leary. He ends up in the goal, but crucially the ball does not. Still, Luton press for this goal. And still, they won't have it as we approach half-time. Alan Campbell, McAtee again. Barkley. O'Leary with another. Relatively comfortable save. Batted away. Not taking any risks by trying to hold on to it and fumbling it or parrying it into a danger zone. Every time O'Leary gets a hand to it, he gets it clear and safe. Over the top looking for the run of Sigurdsson here. On the counter-attack before half-time. It's not the best of clearances by Campbell, but it is eventually effective. They might have drawn all their games so far, Luton, but they look like they're going to be decent going for a victory here. Because we've done nothing going forward so far. We need to change something. I'm going to change it. Cam and Striker should hopefully do that. Campbell into McAtee. Dangled a leg there, Sigurdsson, but couldn't get to it. It's a lovely ball down the line to Doty. It's run by him too. Makengo can't quite get there. Doty onside here and drifting into a dangerous position. And, oh, Salihovic has to do better. He is travelling away from goal and having to swivel on it. And it didn't work for them. 2 changes. Dennis makes his debut. Yengi potentially with a farewell appearance here. But what a farewell it could be if he wins us the game here against Luton. And Doty getting forward. Makengo dangling. Legs are... Oh! Panic. I didn't press anything, but that very nearly ended up in a penalty for them. The man went to ground and questions were asked to the referee. Corbani very nearly gave Luton the opportunity to win the game from the spot. Campbell to Doty again. Still in the box. Makengo gets a firm tackle in, and it's another Luton Town corner here. They've made a change. Chong comes on for McAtee. Tahith Chong, the former Manchester United man. Out, please. That could have gone absolutely anywhere. Luckily for us, it went well. Lobato's going to step in for that. Sigurdsson's done well to win the header, and we're just going to slow this down. In a minute, I would take a 4th draw this season for Luton Town because, let's be honest, they've been significantly the better side so far today. Oh, and deserve the win should they get it. But can we nick it? Can we steal all 3 points here? Carol Linetti looking for Sigurdsson. Out on the left-hand side now rather than the right. It'll be a corner. Hashioka in the way. You can hear the roar of the home crowd. I really want Makengo on it, to be completely honest. Let's give it to little Lobato. He'll float it. And there might be an option in the middle for someone to make a name for themselves. Yengi's header. De Amores with his only save of the game so far, and he makes it convincingly. Cashin's done well to win that back. Is Yengi going to make the run? He's going. Just need to time it right. Try and nod it down to a teammate. Oh, and he was swinging for it. The fans call for a pen. The referee says a firm, hard no correctly. He's gone for it there. I tried the 1-2, but Makengo's pass this isn't quite good enough. Well, nor is his tackle. Unfortunately, Lobato's picked up a knock here. Hopefully he's okay. No long-term injury. Otherwise, you might have to pull the plug on the Yengi deal. Sigurdsson into Yengi and across to Linetti. Oh, just couldn't quite find the space. Waiting for the support. It's been a really dangerous offensive game from Luton Town in this fixture. And Max O'Leary comes out. He must have got something on the ball, but my word, was that very dangerous and looked probably more likely to be a penalty to Luton than anything else. Emmanuel Dennis can't find Kusini Yengi as he ran away from the action there. There's still danger in these latter stages. Chong, Salihovic. It would be unfair to say they didn't deserve it if they had won the game late there. It would be unfair to say that we deserve it if we win it now. Sigurdsson, options in the middle. Lobato can't find Linetti. Oh, that was the chance. It'll be a 0-0 draw. So another clean sheet for O'Leary, and he's earned this one. It's another draw for Luton. That should keep us in the top half. Whether we stay in the promotion playoff spots, I'm not sure after that, but we had to work hard for that one. And there you have it. Kusini Yengi has been one of the most impactful players in this save in our early stages, in our early seasons. Every love story has an ending. And this one sees Kusini Yengi further his career. And we thank him very much for his service. But it's time for the next chapter for ourselves as well as him. It's an A-rated transfer. I think we've done the right thing. £2.9 million, Kusini Yengi leaves. We have dropped to 7th in the table, which is one spot outside the playoffs. Up next, a side that are in the playoffs, Coventry City. So win this, and we should, at this early stage, overtake them and get ourselves back in to the top 6. Mason Clark has been very good. In fact, we looked at him in the transfer window earlier on in the season, but have decided not to go with it. Makengo's slightly tired here, so we will bring Ben Osborne in to give him a game. Lobato's been very good so far out on the left-hand side. Sammy Smodics is yet to fully impress at this particular moment in time. It's been good in the build-up, but I don't know as he's really had an opportunity to score a goal yet, and I don't think he's gotten an assist either, but we will continue on because he's obviously a player that has the quality to impact a game when the opportunity presents itself. Very pleased with Sigurdsson's continued good form and growth, and Thurpo's up to 75 now as well, which is pleasing to see at 30 years of age. The side continues to get better yet still. Corbani slightly tired. We'll give Sørensen a game here then. And Kellen Watts can step in for Kirk Henderson. In fact, Kellen Watts was part of one of the press conference questions earlier on in the window, or in the episode. It was Arnaud Carael said, Mr. Monk, some fans argued recently that pulling Kellen Watts on the bench is not fair considering what he brought to the club since his signing. Also, Kirk Henderson coming back from his loan spell at Southampton is not something to avoid, which we haven't. Would you consider a rotation between the two players in the first team so that there's a fair competition to bring out the best of the two players? That is the plan. That is what we've enacted here and what we will look to do throughout the course of the season. In a promotion year, even more so than in a year trying to stay in the division where you really kind of stick with the 11 that are getting you the points. In this sort of scenario, in this year, we're going to need the full squad. to do the business. So Kelland will get still a lot of first team football, but we have to prioritise and nurture the young talent that is Kirk Henderson to try and get the best out of him longer term. But at the minute, to the Coventry Building Society Arena we go. And fingers crossed, 3 more points. And then into O'Hare, who's run straight into Erin Cashin, who's been superb at centre-back so far. I could not be more impressed with the way that the defensive side of this new 11, or mainly new 11, have impressed. Linetti into Lobato. Again, going to look for Fofana, who's arriving! It's a brilliant save by the keeper. Fede Fofana's had a bright start to his life at Cambridge United. He's not been prolific yet, but he is one of the lower rated of our new signings, and one of the more raw young talents of those that we've brought in. He's the guy with potential to really change things around for this side longer term, whereas everyone else in the side behind him, supporting him, has the quality of talent and experience to help the young man flourish in his first season or two at Cambridge United. Corner for Tor. Oh, anywhere will do for me here. Kellen Watts is the man that's in the right place at the right time to get rid of that. And that's advantage to ourselves. So Sigurdsson will race away here. It hit a hand. I've got lots of amber and black shirts getting forwards here. And Sammy will find Linetti. Oh, and Bell makes a very good save. Ben Osborne's touch lets him down. And at the minute, we've not had that quality in the final third that we've needed to get the right shot or pass away to win this game. It's looking likely of it being back-to-back draws here in the latter stages of the month of August. Going undefeated is good against a side that are challenging at the top end of the table as well. But obviously, if you can get the win, you'd very much like it. Emmanuel Dennis finds Ben Osborne. And Sigurdsson was away down the line, but De Silva with a great interception. That could have been a game-defining moment. Could it be in the negative for us? This is good from them. O'Hare. And Sakamoto. Max O'Leary across to it very well indeed. A home crowd trying to urge their side forward to get the goal to win it, but that ain't going to be it. We'll look for Sigurdsson. And Emmanuel Dennis is man in the middle. Emmanuel Dennis can't quite get underneath that. Can I get to this with the man in yellow? Yes, we can. Schmodix looking for Alejo. Lovely interception by Sakamoto. And that's been the story of the game. One side attacks, one side defends, and both sides do that well. And as a result, nobody can find a way through. It's the second 0-0 draw in a row against relegation, against promotion rivals. But last year we were losing games against sides like this, and this year we're keeping them to a clean sheet and trying our best to get the win. So I'm happy enough with the progress that we've made so far. That draw might not get us back into the playoffs, but as we get through the press conference here and keep morale high, because absolutely morale should be high at this stage of the season. Hard work is its own reward in a 0-0. We worked very hard to ensure that we got the clean sheet. The final press conference is from Jack Lewis, who says, would you consider loaning out a few of the experienced bench players since their game time is going to be limited with the newer, better signings? We half covered this slightly earlier on when we mentioned that with Kellen Watts, that we're going to need the whole squad this season if we're to make a genuine attempt to get out of this division and up to the league above. We've Bolton next in the Carabao Cup, which we will rotate for. Obviously, wow, lots of side on 8 points, and it's only goal difference, one goal that sees us outside of the playoffs at present. Obviously, it's going to be tight at this stage of the season. We're only 3 points off top, as no one really is looking to make a breakaway start at the beginning of this season. So, really pleased with how things are going so far. At the bottom of the table, Millwall and Preston only on a point apiece so far this season. And as we approach the game against Bolton in the Cup, Balajizi still wants to play. To be fair, in the Cup, he will play in this next one, actually. So we'll be simming the game against Bolton in the Cup. They are obviously in the league below after, I think, relegation last year. They might not even have been in the Championship last year. In fact, it might have been the year before they got relegated. A quick sim at the Tough Sheet Arena sees us get a result. In fact, youngster Schmidt and youngster Kaiser both get goals, the left back and centre back respectively, as we force our way through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. I'm going to make sure the finances are up to date. We're going to make sure that everybody's fully fit because we're going to need the full squad to be available for this game against Birmingham. Birmingham with a side that is very good in attack and defence, but there's not much in the way of midfield there. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games, and they're certainly throwing some of their young players into the deep end here, presumably to try and get some great performances out of them in terms of developing that young talent, the same way they did Jude Bellingham. But at the present, Birmingham are League One in real life because they got relegated, and they're headed that way again in this save too. Koulibaly and Fofana both with the goals. Fofana's grown to 74 rated now as well, which is fantastic news. So he's going to continue his growth as we progress through this season. We've got Norwich City next. We're in 8th in the table as everybody, or the majority of sides above us, were also victorious. Luton Town have actually not yet lost a game this season despite those 4 draws. So they're having a good year. We will end the transfer window then in today's episode. We shall head there now. And hopefully we'll be able to keep hold of all of our better players. I think, to be honest, anyone that might have gotten a bid for them has already left. We've had a bid for Taylor Richards. And we're wanting to sell him. And it's from Besiktas, which feels more realistic to me than some of the lower tier foreign or other sides that we've had bids in, like Molenbeek and Casapia. Besiktas, the Turkish League has been a destination for a number of English players over recent years, trying to rejuvenate their career. So I'm just going to accept that straight off the bat. I'm not going to really be able to get an extra £100,000 out of Besiktas, so I anticipate that deal going through. Nianzou, Girassi and Alan Saint-Maximin are the biggest deals so far on deadline day, but as we progress through, there's immediately 2 more with Bart Verbruggen and Andreas Christensen moving, and that is going to be Taylor Richards going to Besiktas for £1.55 million. So we can go player sold 1550000, and we now have made over 20 million. Did I put that in the wrong? No. We've made very nearly, I thought we were over 20 million. We're 120 grand short of having made over 20 million pounds from player sales this season. We've got a massive transfer budget remaining for the remainder of this year. Not that we should need it, which means next season, if we make it to the Premier League, bam, a lot of the 1-year deals are going to expire or they're going to retire, and then we can really look to dramatically improve the side as we progress into the Premier League. We got to make it first, though. We've got to make it there first. Francisco Conceição has made it from Palace to Chelsea. He's moving from South to West London. Genk have bid for Kellen Watts, but that's not necessarily one that we're looking to do in a realistic fashion here. Kellen Watts still part of our plans at the club. Milos Kerkez has gone from Liverpool to Leipzig. Shakhtar Kore has gone from Mönchengladbach to Nice, and Julien Duranville has gone from Lyon to Juventus. Big move for him here for £52.5 million. Some lesser deals going through now, although Cody Gakpo, some rather bigger deals going through actually, that weren't made available to us. Continue to turn down bids for Kellen Watts at this stage. That was Thiago Almada moving from Atlanta United to Brentford for £108.3 million. Cody Gakpo has moved from Liverpool to Inter for 59.9, and things are getting serious now in this summer transfer window. I might previously refer to it as January 1. And again, an English player moving to the Turkish league certainly feels more realistic than going to FC Andorra. So I'll actually accept that bid as well. And it looks like we may well see Balagizi move out to try and rejuvenate his career in Turkey as well. Leganés, not quite so much, I don't think, at this stage. We will reject that one. And FC24 in for Kellen Watts now. I might just block bids for Kellen Watts at this particular moment in time. Evan Ferguson has gone or come back to the Premier League. Aston Villa, his destination from Bilbao. That's actually the 3rd biggest deal of transfer deadline day so far. Christopher Ayer has left Brentford to go to Espanyol, and this is going to be James Balagizi on his way out to Alanyaspor, £1.350 million, meaning that we have now definitely sold over £20 million worth of players in this window now. £21.230 million worth of players sold this window. We have dramatically improved the financial situation of the club. At the same time, the playing staff has significantly improved as well. It's not like we haven't been buying players ourselves either. We have spent £7.3 million. Swansea would like to loan Schmidt. Finally, a realistic loan bid. We will not loan to buy. We will just look for a short-term loan without the buy, and they're open to it, and that would be great for him. If they could pay all of his wages, that would be great. It is only £425 a week. They'll pay 70, fine. 70% is fine by me, it's not a problem. Schmidt on his way out. Lasse Sørensen we will be rejecting bids for as well. Sørensen is a player that is going to be one that we're going to let wind down his contract and leave at the end of this season, because he's going to play more of a squad role for us than Kusini Yengi would have done. We've definitely got an option, or had an option, which we've used for Kusini Yengi with Emmanuel Dennis. There isn't really another option at right back for us at this stage. Zeno de Bast goes to Fulham, and Umar Diakite leaves Norwich, who we play next. He was their starting striker. He's gone to Lens for £34.5 million, as Frankie de Jong comes to the Premier League for 97.8 to Tottenham, the second biggest deal of transfer deadline day, with just an hour to go. I'm going to go and sort the Patreon player spreadsheet out so that you guys know exactly where everyone has gone from there, and then we'll give you a full transfer roundup as well. Big window today. So transfer roundup of everything that's happened in this window across all days rather than just deadline day. The biggest move is Zaire Emery for £109.7 million to Brighton from Manchester City. That's a biggie. A very, very biggie. You saw Almada and De Jong. Fadiol has gone from Leverkusen to Roma. Julian Alvarez, who's now at Atletico Madrid in real life, is at Juventus here. Fikayo Tomori leaves City to go to Juventus as well. City selling some good players here. Sudakov, who's 86 rated. Wow. For £82.6 million to Nottingham Forest. Victor Boniface to Villarreal. Brahim Diaz to Leipzig. Farias to Arsenal from Inter Miami. Barrios to Fiorentina. We've got Locatelli to Lens. We have Bove to Sevilla. We've got Pepe to Liverpool. 84 rated 24-year-old. Colin Moani to Atleti. Korikakpo. We saw Alexis McAllister goes to Atletico Madrid. Diogo Jota to Chelsea. Thijs de Linger to Brentford. Chiesa to Bournemouth. That's an intriguing one. Bayer to Leverkusen. Is it Fran Garcia? Fran Garcia to Napoli from Spurs. Evan Ferguson we saw. Moise Keane to Leverkusen. Tapsoba, the centre-back, not the striker. Bologna from Atletico Madrid. Duranville we saw move to Juventus earlier. Eli Wahi's moved to Bayern from Aston Villa. Mudryk moves within England from Chelsea to Nottingham Forest. Aslani to Fulham. Evan Nielsen to Villa. Elmas to Lille. Riquelme Valencia. Pepelu to Bayern Munich. Nicholas Jackson to Bilbao. Harry Kane to Atletico at 87 rated and 34 years of age. Contan Timber to Leeds, a move within England, having already moved to Brentford from Feyenoord. Conceição, we saw Mikel Merino to Roma. Mark Gahey to Spurs. Gahey was rumoured to be going to Newcastle, I think, in real life. Vicario to Napoli. Bakwa to Leeds. Be an intriguing one. Leeds, I think, are still in our division, aren't they? They didn't get up last year. They lost in the playoffs. Ederson to Mallorca. Now to Stuttgart. Musa to Atalanta. Grew to Sociedad. Lucas Sucic is very, very good. He's gone to Hoffenheim. Noni Madueke moves within England. Pape Sarr moves to Frankfurt. Christensen we saw earlier in the window as well on deadline day to Osasuna for 40.4. And there have been moves in the Patreon as well. I'll show you everybody's ratings here as we scroll through, whilst I can give you a closer look at some of your player details. If you want to join me on stream, you might notice your player has moved in this save. No loan moves, intriguingly, this season for Patreon players, but a handful, actually, of permanent transfers for players that are moving, some for the first time, some for the second or even third time in this save. I think 77 rated is the highest we've got of any Patreon player at the moment in Season 5. Liam Michael and Will, all moving as goalkeepers to PSG, Mainz and Leipzig, respectively. Bear has moved for the second time. Not Bear. Ben has moved for the second time from Portsmouth to Atletico Madrid to Real Sociedad. A second move as well for Dallas, now at Stade de Reims. Rheindorf Altas is a move for Greasy, which is intriguing. Really odd one there. Sydney to Inter Milan to Brighton for Lachlan Cox. Freiburg for Patrick, a second move for him. Torino now for Alex Caldwell, moving from Lille. Then a number that are still at their original club. Everton to Stuttgart to FC Köln for Daniel Weiland. First move to Lazio for Danny Brooks from Crawley, finally making his way out of Crawley. Free agents to Dublin to Stade Rennais, to Ajax for Aidan. Big move there. Northampton to Villarreal to Udinese for Julio. Wolves, the destination for Junho from West Ham. And Seattle Sounders to Athletic Club de Bilbao for Tobias, leaving Seattle Sounders where he started his time. I do have Luke Kelly to add to the list as well. Luke will be starting his life in the save at... Let me scroll quickly. At Liverpool. So he'll be added in for... the next episode. We'll get that done. This episode will have been to you slightly late. Apologies for that. We will have, of course, continued episodes to you for the 3 p.m. slot moving forward for the rest of the week. On Thursday and Friday, I'll be live again on stream doing more recording on Saturday and Sunday. But I am still live for the rest of the day here on Wednesday if you want to come across and join me for the recording of Thursday and Friday's episodes. So follow the links in the description to Twitch or to the YouTube live streaming channel to join me live. Do make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notification bell turned on so you don't miss out on any more of this save as we progress further through. There is a lot, of course, to come to you this season. We are not in the playoffs, but we are close to them. And with Norwich to play next, it will not be easy to get into them. But into them we plan to be. Bristol City an early pace runner in second place. Norwich, Blackpool, Cardiff, Plymouth and Stockport in the Cup will be our September. Before then, the high-flying Bristol City in Friday's episode. So do join me. We've got youth scout reports to go through. That'll be for the youth intake at the end of the season, but we'll go through those on stream later today. But for now, for YouTube, for the VOD content, that's all from me for today. Thank you very much for watching. Keep your press conference questions coming in. I'd appreciate it very much indeed. Keep your likes coming in. Of course, all sorts of feedback in the comment section is very much appreciated as well. But for now, for today, ta very much. I'll see you tomorrow.